welcome to the Great Lakes Gaming Podcast, a video game podcast based out of the sweet state of Michigan, from deep within the heart of the Mitten. Kyle?
Michigan.
My name is Dan. I'm moderator today, Dan Allen, my name. Happy Father's Day to the only father in the room, Trey Grunstadt. Happy Father's Day, Trey.
We cooking up in here.
We cooking. And also to a man that is also the only father in the room, Nicholas Cartier.
I just want to say Happy Father's Day to Olivia, Tori, and Mariah.
Oh, God.
And and Kyle Melville.
Yeah, my son's older than I am.
It's true.
He sponsors them.
Black Hole Sun. Did you guys know that today is Sunday, February 17th?
Black Hole.
And according
Black
to the
Hole.
rumors at GameStop, the end of the days of play for E3.
We were just at a GameStop as it opened up. Why? Why, Trey? Tell me the story.
I bought a PS4 Pro.
You bought it last
I
night.
fucking did it.
You went to buy that last night, right?
Yeah.
He's getting excited.
He's
What?
got 2 PlayStation 4s right now.
He's got a PlayStation 8 right now.
Yeah, can you fuse them and like make a super system?
If I had some Patori earrings, yes.
There you go.
Oh, Sony. Scoff. And Kyle's leaving this podcast to buy an Xbox One X today.
I am.
Because there is no power greater than X. Yeah. That's what we're talking about today.
Master
Until
Race.
the PS5 comes out,
It's probably, I don't know. Probably
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Get that one too, so
Yep.
you can just
They're gonna announce
fucking
it tomorrow,
have 3
Trey.
PlayStations.
They're
Hell
going to
yeah.
announce it tomorrow. They're going to be like, Xbox 5, and you're going to be like, I have the Xbox 8.
It's like, I'm just
Bro.
by following the,
I'll
by
get
following the
Nintendo
trends.
Stay in the same place.
Xbox wins the next gen, right, Trey?
Yes.
Statistically, it's bound to win.
It is superior.
With sales, I mean.
I have not seen a study where they confirm that.
All right,
Or have I
let's
seen
think
it
about our
really
life.
deny it.
I did not
Let's-
have sexual relations with that woman.
Let's think-
All I'm saying is PS4 sold a lot more than Xbox.
Here it is.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fact.
yeah. No, I agree with you.
I
man.
have a PS4.
So-
I don't care.
So the
but it is
the
superior.
PS2 outsells the Xbox. The 360 outsells the 3. The flip flop happens. The PS4 outsells the Xbox One. That flip flop happens.
But-
Mama didn't raise no fool, Kyle. All right.
Oh yeah.
Switch wins next gen. No new Switch, just this
Yeah.
Switch.
I've never been a Nintendo person though. I mean, I did have a game. No, I didn't have a GameCube. Jeff had a GameCube. And I
Yeah.
played it a lot. But I did have an N64, and I think that's the last Nintendo system I ever had. So.
You should get the Switch Pro XL.
The Switchblade.
The Switch X Pro SL.
Switch, guys.
Super large.
Real quickly, real stealthily. Not unlike most Hideo Kojima games, let's very stealthily sail through some corrections.
Correcting I fucked up.
So this week in corrections, I'm watching Trey sign into his PlayStation Network account on PS4 Pro. It reminds me of the fact that we were so perfect last week, there are no corrections. But how could I go 1 week without thanking Harley and Kenny Wootton, the Wootton family, for allowing me to smoothly enjoy a song so smooth every smooth Sunday evening.
Thanks for letting us
Corrections,
borrow
I
your show.
won E3 because Skate 4 did come out. It is just called Session.
There's no foreign sessions.
Yeah. I hate to,
You know what the funny thing is, Kyle?
Yeah, it's made by the same creator.
Are they coming out for the PS4?
Is it? It was kickstarted by the people that were behind
Yes.
it on the actual team.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Kyle? If that had been Skate 4, so it's not Skate 4, and people are just like still excited about just skateboarding in general, like coming to a console and everything. If that had been Skate, I don't think you would have been happy, and this is why. Hear me out. Cut corrections. Cartier. I don't want to rant over this. This is not going to be smooth.
Rough sailing.
Because the physics for Skate 3 was so good.
Yeah.
And so
it really
perfected.
was.
And looking at the flips and just looking at a lot of the stuff in the trailer, it looks sweet,
but
it
looks
didn't look
really hard.
It didn't look perfect.
Yeah.
It didn't look Skate 3 and beyond levels. It looked good though.
Yeah.
This week in gaming. Kyle, what?
Regardless, if they're not going to continue the Skate 4 franchise,
On to the next one.
why not take the same, engine and everything it runs on and
They tried to
use
build
that for session? You know what I
They
mean?
tried to build a new engine, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Because EA would own whatever they were doing, unless they, I don't know, because I assume it was I'm sure it was on, EA makes it, everybody do the same shit.
Yeah.
But that only happened a few years ago, the
Probably
Frostbite
going to be
thing.
the first game I'm going to play.
Yeah, session.
In his whole damn
No.
life.
Oh, Skate 3. Backwards compatible. Do you still have it?
You know,
No, but I'm going to get the Game Pass. Hopefully it's on Game Pass.
It was recently put on Game Pass.
Okay, so I think it's Game Pass. If I'm wrong, it's $10 a month.
You're right.
That's
$10 a month.
fucking cheap.
And I think that there might be a deal there if you buy the year. Could be wrong.
Also, I just read online. I typed in the Xbox Game Pass on Google. Best Buy right now has a 6-month pass, which is normally $60, for $30. $29.99.
Oh man, is that $5 a month for Game Pass?
Yes.
What a deal!
I'm gonna go get
Because-
that today.
Because maybe you wouldn't play Sea of Thieves, but when it's sitting there like practically free, you're like, maybe I'll dip my toe in Sea of Thieves.
Right.
Maybe I'll play this other.
Oh, dude,
you're
they're all
play
gonna be.
Cuphead.
I mean, practically free if you think about it.
You're gonna play in Rage Quit Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Miss Chalice
Dude,
recently
we can
added.
play some shit today, man.
Yeah.
How many controllers does it come with? One?
Can we play Cuphead today?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy another one because they're $40 now. I might as well buy one.
Kyle said he wanted to play Evil Within 2 today, and then he's just like,
No, we're gonna play that too.
Cuphead. Kyle, what'd you play this week?
We might have a long day. I played a. Man, I played a lot of shit this week.
Ooh, not to interrupt you, but Trey, are we still cooking?
I kind of.
Okay,
I mean, are you?
we're cooking. Okay, I was just confirmation. We're cooking.
I
Okay.
mean, me and Nick got our shirts off. But it's a steamy.
does it really look like I have my shirt off though? I really just I'm showing you my sweater vest.
It looks like you hugged Chewbacca if
motivation.
you were covered in
I took my
blue.
shirt off and Anthony got hard and he's like a couple miles away.
So Kyle, what'd you play this week?
I played a lot of Deus Ex.
Nice. Mankind Divided.
Yeah.
I know one thing we played.
Oh yeah. I played some God of War.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't just play it though. We
Streamed it on Twitch.
on Twitch. We're now on Twitch.
Oh, nice. Add that to the plugs. Twitch.tv/Litmit Media.
Yes.
We didn't have the archives turned on, so you cannot go and watch that magical moment. But the next one,
There will be lots more gameplay there.
Yeah.
Top joke was about Kratos.
Oh yeah.
Top joke was about Kratos.
It was about Kratos.
Oh,
If you'd
it's
give me
pretty
5
bad.
guesses, I might have got. That the top joke featured Kratos.
Take it. Let's do it.
Was it Kratos?
3 guesses.
Oh, the actual Kratos
Yeah.
joke? Oh, no. I meant that I could have guessed it if Kratos was in the joke, because he's the main character. That was my bad joke about jokes. You guys
Well,
want to
alright,
talk
so
about it?
Kratos is carrying around the ash of his wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's also covered in the ash of his other wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then that witch lady that's in the game with like the red hair and everything, she's like helping him out because she wants to help out the boy and make sure he gets his quest done. I'm just saying that like if he's like gonna smash it with the ashes of one wife, he might as well like make it like a 3-something. Just like cover himself in his old new wife's ashes.
Oh.
Send all comments to litmitmedia@gmail.com. That's litmitmedia@gmail.com for Nick.
That's rough.
You got a lit mint up in here.
Played a lot of Need for Speed Payback.
Redemption.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
You've been playing games this week. I forgot you told me.
Yeah, dude, I've been catching up.
It's been hard for me to dude, I've been playing a lot of games recently too, but like what you just kind of told me, it's been hard for me to focus on one thing for
Yeah,
like
Injustice 2 I've
a
been
few
on.
days.
Mine just renewed.
Swamp Thing?
Oh, you know what's really cool is in that hour of footage that I have for Injustice 2, it starts with Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
There's no quote for Swamp Thing this week because I was afraid we wouldn't have enough time. And I really want to make sure there's enough time for Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
Kyle, what was your favorite thing you played this week out of all those things? What'd you honestly enjoy the most?
God of War.
Mm-hmm. Strong.
And it's really hard for me to not play Wolfenstein 2. I've been wanting to play that, but I wanted to catch up on other things.
Right.
Why not?
When Wolfenstein 2, it really is. I've had it for a long time, but
I
like the game so much, and I know that it's short, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of pushing. I'm milking that fucking game.
Yeah.
I'm milking it.
Make it
Like,
last.
give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes farther in that game, I'm on to the next. But it's also super hard, so
What are you gonna do?
10 minutes is actually like an
Bada
hour for
bing.
me.
Bada boom.
Real dudes in the room. How you doing?
You good? Yes.
Nicholas Cartier.
What's up?
Yes, you might be very pleased to see my progress.
What did you play this week in gaming?
This Week in Gaming is brought to you by
Fortnite.
The Lit Mitten.
Who brought you that?
The Lit Mitten Post. You can pick it up at Farmer Jack.
Whoa.
Yeah. So pretty much what I played this week in gaming was I picked up Payday 2, and I regret it. I regret it. I'm not having a good time with that game, so I think I'm gonna take that game back. Probably buy the Xbox One that Kyle wants to buy before he does.
Whoa. He's buying it right after.
He's got a fast car, but it's gonna take him like an hour to get out of Trey's parking lot.
That's true.
So true. Because all the animals, the wild animals.
Yeah.
We live in a weird place.
Shoot the end.
But no, yeah, I'm not having a good time with Payday. I also I downloaded Fortnite for the Switch, and I'm not having a good time with Fortnite for the Switch either because I don't like it. Kind of sucks. I'm looking at it right now on the screen, and
Epic smash hit Fortnite? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
One of the most popular current games being played.
yeah. No, this isn't me trying to be like an edgelord either. This is just me like trying to play a game and have a good time and just like not.
Funny thing is, you did tell me it's not necessarily the battle royale that turns you off because you're enjoying the PUBG. It's just like the physics, how it looks, the building.
It looks really cartoony. The building is just like a weird aspect that like I don't have any want to build a fucking wall when I'm trying to like find a handgun so some dude doesn't blow my asshole up with a shotgun.
I also played a little bit of Fortnite, Cartier, during when the Thanos stuff was happening.
I was a
And,
fan of stuff.
It was fun. I didn't hate Fortnite. I could see why people can go home and play it every day. Like it's addictive. That's just never gonna be my kind of game. Like, I'm just not a go home and play a shooter every day kind of guy. Like, I just never. I don't know, but I enjoyed Fortnite. I have not dipped my toe into PUBG though, so the comparison is interesting to me that you prefer.
Well, I feel like PUBG is a little more like straight to the point. It's not like, hey, like you can build all this stuff and you can get all these materials. I'm just like trying to stay inside the circle and shoot motherfuckers.
It doesn't look at it.
PUBG looks different than Fortnite.
No, I'm talking about that.
No, like
Did you want the store to look pro?
Dirt 4.
you have to turn the 3D settings on. Like,
So nothing but negative things this week, hey Cartier?
well, all right. So I started a playthrough of Pokemon Omega Ruby, and I got like through 2 gyms and I didn't save, and then an error occurred. So like I just got nothing but negative things to say about games I'm playing right now. It's like
This week in blaming gaming.
yeah,
This weekend shaming.
This week in shame.
Oh my god.
I don't even like video games anymore.
Trey Grunstadt.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What'd you play this week in gaming?
You know, I didn't really play that much actually. I was working up to today buying that PS4 Pro.
You played the waiting game is what you did.
Played the waiting game.
Are you gonna get The Sims 4?
No, but I am thinking about Dirt 4 because that looks pretty cool.
Oh man. I look at Dirt 4 all the time when I'm going, probably because I'm like browsing the store or just looking for something. And like, yeah, I don't know why Dirt 4. I'm like not a car guy.
You
Not
get
a
the digital
rich
edition of Persona 5.
Ooh. Trey Grunstadt. So I gotta believe that. What game did you buy with the Pro today?
Skyrim.
Was it the very special edition? Or is it the complete edition?
No, but I will say that the very special edition does exist.
Yeah, it is playable.
It's playable.
If I was to
What do you
ask,
think about that, Dan?
If I was to ask you,
What do you think about that?
is that your third or fourth purchase of Skyrim? What would you say?
Probably like, I might even be on my fifth. I don't know.
That's so dirty.
Well, actually, no, because like with the PC version,
uh-huh.
like that, I got a free download of that. Like when the special edition came out, because they
It's blasphemy.
gave it free.
This kid's looking up Xbox information on a PS4 Pro that literally the majority of this PS4 Pro being played has been looking up Xbox stuff. Like the majority of its life as of this point has spent more time looking at.
That's what I find it list.
You've been talking about buying an Xbox for so fucking long. Just do it already.
I ain't going to.
Ooh.
Please don't shut up. I'm gonna leave and do it right now.
Kyle, don't leave yet.
Yeah,
I want to watch it happen.
we got something to talk about.
I don't know, man.
So-
It might be sold out.
Mr. Grunstadt, my final question for you: as you begin your 4K Skyrim experience,
Age of
what
Booty.
race will you be?
Oh.
Age of Booty.
You know, I do like being an orc,
Nice.
but I do kind of want to be something stealthy and light-footed. The farthest,
You're gonna be Khajiit.
yeah, probably. I was thinking about it because, like, the first time, like, the farthest I ever got in Skyrim, I was like a battle mage, like, pretty much. Like, I was like a healer and like heavy weapons with an orc, and that was savage.
I'm a heavy weapon fucking Khajiit right now. It's a very not optimized build I'm working on.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Fable 2 and 3.
Fable 2 and 3, baby.
Dude, I'm pretty sure isn't Fable 1 on there too?
Is this Game Pass currently?
What is
Yeah.
it? What was that Dungeons
Fable
and Dragons
Anniversary.
game on there?
Chronicles of Mysteria.
It had one that says Age of Booty. What is that, dude?
Dude.
Don't bring it back up.
Age of
If
Booty.
you don't
is a video
understand what it is.
game. Oh, no, I did.
It's like the Age
Here's
of
a War
Ultron.
2, 3, and 4. That's what I'm going to have fun with.
It's a porn spoof on Age of Ultron. Tony Stark makes the perfect booty, and then it takes over the world.
I have the perfect transition to
Halo 5.
to my This Week in Gaming and then actually what we're talking about today. As you continue to look through the Game Pass, something that is on this list is recently, I know you're looking for Skate 3, and Red Dead Redemption. I've been playing through some Red Dead Redemption. I'm not going to
Nice.
talk too much about it, but I probably played like 10 hours this week. Not as much poker as you would think. I've only played a little bit of poker, but I will tell you, I love the one-liners these NPCs have as you're playing poker. Sometimes they line up perfectly. Like, you'll eliminate a motherfucker, and as he stands up from the table, he's like, him being here is causing a goddamn civil war. And he said that like 10 times while you've been playing, but he's talking about you every time he says it. So when you eliminate him and he says that, it's like sour grapes as fuck, and I love it. My favorite thing, it came down to one-on-one the other day with, oh man, Clyde something. And he said the words, I see the way he looks at my wife. And I'm like, this is poker. So then I eliminated him and I won that game of poker, Kyle. This Week in Gaming. Saturday, June 10th. Unless it was Sunday.
Wait, what?
Was it Sunday Microsoft happened? Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday the 11th. Microsoft had a press conference. I'm going to try and get through as much as I can today, but we'll at least get through Microsoft. They had what some are calling the best Microsoft E3, definitely in a long time. Some say of all time. It was definitely a step up. Phil Spencer came out, he said 50 games, 18 exclusives, 15 world premieres were about to happen. And they didn't disappoint. There was a lot of great shit. Do you know what they started with, Kyle? Halo Infinite.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Part of our betting special will be see Master Chief's helmet. That's like how they revealed Master Chief, was showing him that the helmet. The first thing you see is just the helmet. Halo Infinite, it looks like they didn't give us much, but and I hate to directly compare because we're not on Bethesda yet, but a lot of people are really excited about the Elder Scrolls 6 thing, Trey. And a lot of people are like, why even do that? You know what I mean?
Because people won't shut up about it.
Yeah, right, exactly. But then I look at Halo Infinite. who debatably, in a different package, gave you about the same as Bethesda did. But the difference is this. Like, Halo didn't show... They did say it was, like, in-game engine, like, footage. They did tell you the name of the new engine, because you would like to know what the next Elder Scrolls is running on, engine-wise. Halo did say Slipspace engine.
They're probably going to build a new one.
Right, no, for sure.
That's usually what they do with Elder Scrolls, right? Build the engine and then release, like, Fallout's
on
based
that
off
engine.
that engine.
That's funny. It's real, though. But no, at the end of the day, they really didn't give us that much for Halo Infinite. It is coming out 2019. I'm not really a Halo guy. I know no one here. Maybe Kyle. Kyle, what's your experience with Halo in life?
I like Halo. I'm definitely a Halo fan. I just haven't had Xbox for a while.
3.5. Hilarious. Yeah, no. It's crazy. I will say, as much as positive things have been said about this Microsoft conference, which I do agree, and I'm glad because even though I'm not an Xbox guy, I was calling beforehand Cartier. I'm like, Microsoft? Not that it was going to be like the best, but I'm like, they're going to have a strong showing. To the point where I didn't even think it was going to be this strong, Cartier. When I was first seeing that, I was not like expecting all of this good shit. From Halo, they went to the sequel to Ori, and it's Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which is straight up just a beautiful game. It's going to look beautiful on the One X. It's like puzzle platformer. An owl and this weird fox thing, like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Definitely something that's right up my alley.
No, you don't have to turn it on.
I'm turning it down, motherfucker.
It's not on.
I'm making sure it's off, motherfucker. But Ori and the Will of the Wisps also coming out 2019. At the very end, we saw like a weird like mech bird enemy, which that was not in the first game, so that's pretty interesting. Like such a solid start. Phil Spencer came out and he talked for a little bit, and then it was just like game, and it was like really well paced compared to past Microsoft press conferences and even to other press conferences that happened this year. Was it one of the few ones, Cartier, where there was no musical number? So many musical numbers.
I really enjoyed Microsoft's.
It was good, man.
If you were to like highlight it, it'd have to be like 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, yeah, it would still be long.
You know what I mean? Like, they had... Honestly, they were one of the most enjoyable this year, for sure.
Yeah. I think it's partially because Sony did, like, zero in on, like, 4 specific titles they wanted to deep dive on. And that, like, left a lot of things I'm surprised. Like, yes, we knew they were probably coming out on both the PS4 and the Xbox, but surprised that Xbox is the one showing you this trailer. The first of which I would say I did not expect to see at Xbox, and that is we finally know what Shadows Die Twice is, which was remember the bone, like mechanical, The fact that it was the third thing on the Xbox One, and a third of 50 games, I did not expect to see it. People thought it was Bloodborne 2. People thought it was Tenchu. It is none of those things. It is Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. And it is from Software, the people who brought you Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all that good shit.
Dude, you know
but it's Activision, too. I just want to get that out. It's real weird.
I should have added that to my thing. I did play some Bloodborne this week.
Nice, Bloodborne.
Bloodborne is weird and different.
I'd like it.
It's good.
It's good, but, like, it's taken me a while to like get into it. Like it's a little weird. Like I just picked up. It is hard. I just picked up my first weapons. You got the gun and like some axe that fucking like gets bigger and smaller.
The trick weapons, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
In Sekiro, it looks like you have a straight trick arm. Like it's a grapple hook at times, but also it's like flips out into an axe. So it's like you're fighting with that sword. And
so is it a sequel to Bloodborne?
Nope, Sekiro is going to be its own
Just
thing.
its own thing.
That's going to have like that combat people love, like that Souls-like combat.
Yeah.
But funny thing is, there's 3 samurai games at E3 this year. Yeah. None of them are Onimusha remake.
Dude,
Onimusha's not coming.
What was the 3 samurai games? Because one of them I can't remember the name of.
Yeah. The one I really thought was Onimusha, to the point where I was watching with Roger. He's next to me, and as soon as I showed Demons, he's like, "Oh, you're right, Dan Onimusha," and it was fucking Neo 2. And then the people who made Infamous, even though I'm excited about Shadows Die Twice, I am most excited for Ghost of Tsushima. Because I just have a lot of faith in that team. I know you like the Infamous games too, Kyle, but I have faith in that situation. Yeah. But Ghost of Tsushima is going to be Sony exclusive. But Shadows Die Twice, there's crazy big python at the end. He's crossing a bridge, and it shows a huge, larger-than-life python. I really thought that looked good. The Trick Arm, the Dark Soul. It was one of 2 Trick Arms that would be revealed in an announcement trailer at the Microsoft conference. Trick Arms are hot this year. But yeah, Shadows Die Twice.
I like Trick Arms.
Should be interesting. Yeah.
Trick Arm Battle Royale.
Trick Arm Battle Royale.
If I had one in real life, be dope.
I don't
like,
have
straight up like the concept of
Have a trick shoulder and it sucks.
the concept of
Just pops out of place.
Deus Ex, like the whole really cool.
Trick Arms.
And you guys seen Black Panther?
I've not.
Nope.
Oh,
Keep that shit to yourself with your Trick Arm.
he's the guy that's
Shit's damn out.
Has a Trick Arm?
power. Yeah.
Well, they
It
are
looks
so hot.
really weird though. Like when I first saw it, I was like, "Ew," and then I was like, and I was like, "Ugh."
The next thing I got, and we can talk about this a lot if you want now, there wasn't that much revealed at Microsoft, Trey, and there's only like, I'm not trying to shit on Bethesda with their very poorly paced press conference that dragged on.
Don't say that about the conference of the year, Dan.
But no, Fallout 76, they were at the Microsoft thing earlier, and the funny thing is, it was a new trailer, but it's also, they replayed that trailer at the Bethesda one. It was very interesting. Obviously, they went way deeper at the Bethesda one, and we can get into that if you want to, but Todd Howard, double duty. He was on 2 different stages talking about Fallout as hard as he could.
They were just like right across the street.
Right. But Fallout 76, you have pre-ordered it now, Trey.
Oh yeah, boy, yeah.
I guess we can talk about it.
Dude, I've still never been a fucking Fallout. Like,
Dude, this is the first
I
time
had
you can play with
Fallout.
people.
I-
That's why.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
so
be-
I'll probably get it because you can play with people, but like Fallout 3, I think was the last one I played. It's just like, just too slow for me.
I have a feeling that in my head, so I've been wrong a lot, Cartier. I don't know if you've noticed.
Just got bored.
Like, rumors are like slamming me in the face, like, you know that the next Pokemon it's going to be a remake of Yellow, Dan. And I'm like, oh, maybe. Probably not, is what I said. Probably no. And that's totally what it is. And then Fallout 76, and everyone's like, this is the new main game. And I'm like, guys. Because all they showed us was the inside of a vault in the first trailer. I'm like, yes, this could be the next main game, but it doesn't have to be based off this trailer. But of course,
There's never been a Fallout
it's side game. I would...
or an Elder Scrolls that was like true Elder Scrolls or Fallout that you could play online with people. There was Elder Scrolls Online, but that was not the same level of real-time combat.
Mhm.
So
This is going to be... the funny thing is, even though this is definitely what I would say, it's like, oh, Fallout 76 instead of Fallout 5. The funny thing is, realistically, this is Fallout Online. This is Fallout Online. It's not going to work the same as Elder Scrolls Online.
it's not going to be an MMO.
No, but it's going to
not
be...
massively multiplayer.
Neither is Anthem.
Right.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah, are you...
As someone who I've never played a Fallout game. I've never been into playing Fallout games, but I will say Fallout 76 looks fucking dope.
Yeah, no, it looks cool. And the idea of the nukes,
Yeah.
you know, finding the nuke codes, yeah, that's sweet. Obviously, it's going to be big.
That's a big step for that game.
But
Is that the map's going to be 4 times bigger than Fallout 4?
Yep.
Mhm.
4 times bigger.
And
That's huge.
even though I've been talked down, Trey, it's not a side game. It's obviously a main game. I do think, yes, Fallout 76 a main game. I think we still see a Fallout 5.
Probably.
This isn't the end of the numbering system. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah,
76.
I think this is like a
It's just side
Middle,
game, like in
yeah.
a way,
right, but
it's a main entry.
76 is pretty much taking the place of the words online. You know what I mean? So it's not as just straightforward as Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout Online.
Yeah.
But I do think that even though this is a main game, I think we still see Fallout 5. Yeah,
definitely.
This one's got probably the most interesting concept to me, Trey, especially when they show things that are shitty and when things are a little better when you've built them. The fact that you can build anywhere, but when they show it like back to normality, when they show that you can build so hard that it looks like pre-bomb dropping, I'm like, oh shit, because that would be sweet. Like the first few people come, like this is the first wave of people out of the vaults, and maybe they get their shit together and it's going well for a while, but then a lot of these other vaults open up and things get way worse. It'd be nice to know if there was a piece of Fallout history where after the vaults opened up and after the bombs dropped, like we were almost like it was working. We were rebuilding America, like slowly, but then that vault opened up where we put flaming hot Cheetos into the water, and those people all hate
Stuff.
sand. Like I don't know what they hate, and they go crazy. But no, Fallout 76 looks cool. Todd Howard, I feel like I want to talk about more how he came off when we actually talk about Bethesda, but yeah, I heard our games have had a few bugs line. So good, so funny, so shitty. I don't know if you heard that line. He's like, because they're gonna do a beta, because because I hear sometimes these online games have a tendency to break. It's like, and I even heard that sometimes our games have a few bugs. He's like, and I read it online, so it must be true. He's like, anyways. And I'm like, okay, though.
Yeah,
There have been some major bugs in some of these games, Bethesda. It's just funny. I simultaneously liked how it came off, and also, like, what a ballsy, shitty thing to say. As someone that played Skyrim on the PS3, not that it's his fault, personally, but like
it was glitchy in the first game.
There's some things. I'm still Darksiders, still hurt. This is not Bethesda, but Darksiders. I might not play you again. You hurt my feelings in the first 15 minutes. Fallout 76. Anything else to say, Trey?
it's gonna be lit.
Looks great. Game of the year.
Game of the year. Then we got the first little peek into Life is Strange 2. Probably something that genuinely only I'm excited about. As I watched this with others, I leaned in close and I was like, you see that little boy playing? I'm gonna play as that little boy playing. I'm serious. I'm excited, man. Fucking Life is Strange 2. I would call it pre-LC. It's not Life is Strange 2 yet, but it's a look into the expanded universe of Life is Strange, and it's Captain Spirit. It looks like it's a little kid, and it's like just like there's rewinding time in the first game, and then Chloe running people's shit is like her power. Maybe this one is very imagination based. I don't think Captain Spirit is a main character. They do say that if you play what I'm calling the pre-LC, if you play Captain Spirit, you will have there's Easter eggs in there. You will be able to find out what Life is Strange 2 is about. It's coming out this month. Like, I'm guaranteeing Captain Spirit is at least 3 hours of gameplay that they're going to give me for free on the 26th. So, Don't Nod's fucking on it, man. I know Vampire did alright, but we also put out a trailer for Twin Mirror, which doesn't look my speed necessarily, but does look interesting. I think Don't Nod's on a roll from someone that was like looking like they're going to die before Life is Strange was successful. Good on you, Don't Nod. Imagination. Crackdown 3. Big and beautiful. Like a skyscraper. Terry Crews. Crackdown 3. Yes, it's delayed. But that was a good trailer. I feel like there's a lot of people with an Xbox that like they're not like super hyped. They're not writing letters to Microsoft about Crackdown, but I bet there's some people like I want to play this game. Like I'm waiting for this game of me jumping around, destroying shit. Yeah, of like driving on walls and shit and driving up buildings. Saints Row 4, the car kind of thing. Will you be able to handle Terry Crews yelling at you the entire time you're playing, Kyle?
Yes.
Do you approve of the phrase "boom shakalaka" in 2018, Nicholas Cartier?
Boom shakalaka.
Trey, do you think that Terry Crews himself is big and beautiful like a motherfucking skyscraper?
Say something about his washboard abs.
You could cut raw meat on those.
All that and more. Crackdown 3.
The hype is real. It's kind of like, where is it? You know what I mean? I mean, that game looks as good as it did. But now, with Driving on Walls, Nier is coming to the Xbox One X. Become as God's Edition. It's going to be Xbox One X Enhanced. Not much more to say about that. Nier recently sold 3 million copies. Good for Nier. Funniest thing, the only thing to say about Nier is it keeps saying Become as God's Edition comes with the previously available DLC. And it's like always... The thing to know is there's only 2 things that are fucking DLC for Nier. And it's a skimpier outfit for the main girl and a skimpier outfit for the main boy. Thank God that comes with it. But no, Nier is an amazing game. Go play that. It's a darn good game is what I'll say.
It comes with it, so you don't have to.
Woo! Metro Exodus.
Oh, man.
We saw in-game footage of Metro Exodus.
Looks fucking sweet.
It does look sweet. I mean, this isn't
Anybody
like...
play the last Metro?
No.
I have.
I had an in-depth conversation with D'Angelo, my friend who did. He tells me a lot of things I think look cool are annoying. But who knows, he might be a jaded young man. Because I was like, oh, the wiping of the goggles and shit. Apparently, zombies used to, in the first Dying Light, zombies were out in the day and night. And it looks like in Dying Light 2, we might just get some nighttime zombie action. I don't know how you feel about that, Kyle.
Yeah.
Looks pretty interesting, though. Says it takes place in the modern Dark Ages. But no, there was good gameplay. There are some things I wish Microsoft had deep dived on, and like actually shown some gameplay for, but no, there were things like Metro that really did get, featured. Really did get like some eyes on it. So that was interesting. You think you're gonna play the next Metro?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Will you play it on Xbox One X?
The way that I saw like the gun setup is, it's fucking sweet.
We're cooking.
Yeah.
No, it does look sweet.
Yeah.
We're cooking up in here.
And then we saw for the first time at a Microsoft press conference, for the first time on an Xbox console, Kingdom Hearts 3. This is before Square Enix. This is before Sony, so there are some things, well, I have no problem telling you. If you don't want spoilers for Kingdom Hearts, you better stop listening right about now.
Not even spoilers anymore. It's officially released.
Right.
What?
For
The Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, the trailer?
There are some people, you gotta realize this is like 4 trailers deep. There's definitely some people that
Don't even want to watch the trailer.
don't trust Square Enix, because Square Enix is real bad at trailers, man. Like, yeah, they don't trust that shit. I would say that not only did they not have to show so many worlds, Cartier, but there's something at the end of this trailer that I'm going to explain that if you haven't played, like, Birth by Sleep is going to be a spoiler itself. But we're going to talk about it. And it's pretty much just this. So, Frozen was revealed at Microsoft. And yeah, that's not a spoiler now. It's out there. So that's a thing. It does look interesting. You're snowboarding, you're sledding at one point on Goofy's shield. That's exciting. Cartier said the words Ratatouille to me as we drove here, and that was looks like Ratatouille's a summon. How dare you, Cartier? No, it looks like my inside sources tell me it's a mini game.
You can cook with them.
It looks like he has a kitchen of sorts in Twilight Town or Traverse Town, something like that. Ratatouille. We also saw the return to Kingdom Hearts. The return to Pirates. We didn't see that at Microsoft though, so we won't fucking talk about that yet. But one thing that was at the end of the Microsoft one was a figure in the darkness approaching a Keyblade. Which you can only assume is Riku, right? Maybe it's easy to assume it's Riku. And then Mickey comes out of the darkness like, ha. And,
Is that?
and then you hear the voice of Aqua, who's the girl from Birth by Sleep. And she grabs the darkness subsides and she grabs the keyblade. And she says, Mickey, you're too late. And she turns around and her eyes are yellow. And the only people that had yellow eyes in the series are Xehanort, the main villain, Xemnas, the main villain, Riku when he was absorbed by Ansem, which is really just Xemnas or whatever. Secret of Darkness. Fucking Secret of Darkness, yellow eyes. What does any of this fucking mean, Cartier?
I saw this meme that was like,
They took the waifu?
no, they're like Kingdom Hearts coming out 2018, and it just shows like Aqua with like her normal eye color, and then it says 2018. Kingdom Hearts coming out 2019, and it's just her with the yellow eyes, and it's just like, no, go back.
The only meme I saw was her with the yellow eyes, and just they stole the waifu, I believe. Yep. Oh yeah, they took the waifu. I wrote on there January 29th.
It looks good.
2019. It's gonna be hard to choose between that and Resident Evil 2, which I think the remake comes out on that day too. I'm really looking forward to. We saw some Sea of Thieves DLC. It looks like finally we're getting some ghost ships. 2 different sets of DLC. Not much to really talk about. July and September. Looks like they're still adding to this game. Don't sleep on Sea of Thieves. Don't give up on Sea of Thieves yet. Look at that bullshit.
Yeah.
Fake GTA 6.
Fake news.
Look at this fake news. Battlefield 5, Nordy's story. Does it worry you how little Battlefield 5 showed up to E3, Trey? The multiplayer trailer was very brief, and they said join us for the Microsoft one, and it was supposed to be the story trailer. And it did stop where the story part ended.
I mean,
at the EA one, but it was probably 30 seconds, man. It's probably 45 seconds.
Usually when they release it, like, the main continuity, it's there's not much to worry about, but it could. I mean, Battlefield 4, when it came out, like, I think was crashing the server because there was so many players, so might be a while before we actually see it, though.
Yeah. It really might be. I'm surprised I don't have more to say about Battlefield 5, but they didn't give us much. It's probably going to be amazing when it comes out, man. They got a Battle Royale coming out, that's for sure. Forza Horizon, October 2nd.
Not Horizon 5, right?
No, it's 4.
The leaks were wrong.
It's Forza Horizon 4, yeah. So,
Djibouti was on the Game Pass.
For anyone paying attention to our betting special, to our bets,
Oh, yeah.
Forza Horizon was the only new racing game announced.
Yep.
Craziness. It's going to be good.
Did I say 1?
Ooh, we'll go over what you said, baby.
I'm pretty sure I said 1.
It's going to be good. There's Playground Games. There's no speak of Fable at all. But also, the Forza guy, a little spoiler, the only guy to say experience. When I was watching Phil Spencer, waiting for him to say experience, when you're zoned in on someone's words that hard, looking for one word, and it's a word you've seen that person say 40 times in your life, you start to notice that maybe they're specifically not trying to say the word experience. Especially, like, not that experience is a synonym for art form, but he was saying art form a lot. And he was saying adventure a lot. Yeah, not a lot of it. The Forza guy is the only one to bust out any experiences. How many did he say? We're going to find out in a little bit. But right after, makes sense, right after the Playground Games guys leave, Forza Horizon, which looks amazing. Looks like it's probably the king of fucking racing games still, no offense, Kyle.
Ice Climbers!
Ice Climbers! Phil came out and he said, listen, we're going to make some games, guys. We have a new studio called The Initiative with this guy that I trust. He's doing some story stuff. He's going to make new IPs for Microsoft. We're going to focus on this now. It's called The Initiative. But also, we want to let you know that we purchased some developers. The first of which was Undead Labs. I forget what the name. They're doing like a zombie survival. State of Decay, right? Undead Labs, I think it's
like that.
State of Decay. They just put out 2, so you probably won't hear anything from them for a while, but that's big for Undead games. It's pretty big. Now, one that makes a lot of sense, almost to the point where it's easy to think Microsoft already owned them, but they didn't. They bought Playground Games, who has consistently put out amazing Forza games, and who is rumored to be taking their open world expertise to the world of Fable. So if Fable, which should be a big Microsoft exclusive, is being worked on by Playground Games, it makes sense for Microsoft to have purchased them. All those are exciting, but the last people they bought up got the biggest reaction from the crowd, and probably is the most interesting thing to watch with Microsoft exclusives moving forward, and that's that they bought Ninja Theory, who is known for Enslaved, Heavenly Sword, and most recently, by themselves, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. So, and he even mentioned, like, 5 minutes into playing Hellblade, you could tell there's masters at work here. And he said specifically they're going to trust Ninja Theory with building new IP, a new franchise. So, that should be interesting. And the final thing, they said they also bought Compulsion Games, which is We Happy Few. We Happy Few is, when we last saw it, it was a very weird, bizarre game where people are, like, taking joy. This pill called Joy, and it's, like, helping them get through the day, but they're, like, you know, turns them into zombies, kind of. But this is really just, like, a survival game. When people say they played it a year or so ago, it was, like, a survival game, and really a lot of that story didn't come through. They say they took the last year to write a story, and Compulsion Games is coming back with We Happy Few in a completely different way. Because when people saw that story, they wanted BioShock. That's what they wanted. They wanted that story, but like in a BioShocky way, like in a full RPG. But there wasn't dialogue options. It was a survival game. Like you leave. That's what the world is. It's this crazy world where everyone's on these drugs, but like you leave, and it's just a matter of trying to escape this compound, pretty much. But that is not how the game is now. Oh my Lord, Trey.
Oh damn.
I'm so sorry. Is there a thing I can fix that with?
Georgia.
I gotta go get some tape.
I'm so sorry. Trey, I'm breaking everything now. Well, how'd you like that, Cartier? Do you regret me spilling my coffee?
A little bit, but it's not my carpet.
We Happy Few, August 10th. Take the joy away. After that, they showed something for PUBG, Cartier.
It's not the first spill on the carpet this weekend, if you know what I'm talking about.
They showed PUBG, and what's important to know about them showing PUBG is they love rubbing it in that it's still a console launch exclusive. You want to know what I learned about from PUBG in the new trailer? You want to know?
Sure.
Not much. No, there's a snow map coming. It's probably like their fourth map, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider they started with one, like, they kind of been pumping them out. Trey, I'm sorry I spilled coffee on your floor. I'm so sad.
Cool, man. That's why I bought a rug.
You don't even care. You're so high off having a PS4 Pro.
And only that.
Yeah, just fueling my day here.
Exclusively. Nice. I'm glad PUBG was next. It was easy to, coffee break over it. Take that, PUBG. Tales of Vesperia, the most Japanese thing coming. When they said at the beginning of the conference, they're like, we're excited to have connected with people from Poland to Japan, and they said other countries, and no one else was listening because they're like, Xbox working with Japan, oh shit. It's Tales of Vesperia. What people are calling the best Tales game. I forget what year it's from. Definitely came out on PS3. There's some Japanese exclusive content that's coming to this version. It is the definitive edition of Tales of Vesperia, Trey.
Definitive.
Roger Riat says he'll play it. I bring that up because I don't think any of us will. The Division 2, Tom Clancy. Heard Tom Clancy? Nick?
Never.
Heard he makes books.
I heard Beyond Good and Evil 2. This trailer looks so good. That chili. The Division 2. We saw gameplay of it. It had fake gamer talk, which I love, Kyle. I love when someone's like, "Thanks for the revive, Meg." I'm like, yeah. He's like, "Oh yeah, I just got that over the weekend." Like, just fuck you, Kyle. Like, I don't need it. But then again, those are games I'm not playing, Trey. Maybe that people love that shit. Maybe they're like, oh, this is it. But I'm not trying to be negative, Trey. Don't make me be negative. The Division 2. It looks good. There's a lot we could say about it. I have almost nothing written down because my care is low for the Division 2.
Hopefully this one isn't garbage.
That's
what I hear. A lot of people seem like they're burnt from 1, and even though
1 got a lot of back end support, like towards the end, and it was also cooking. It was doing well. A lot of people weren't still around for it. Like, I feel like the first crew's kind of like that too, Kyle. Some people that like were really early adopters like enjoyed it, but they kind of got burnt by it.
Yeah.
Which is apparently a shame because the like later half support for the crew, like once it was finally like fully rolling, was supposed to have been very good as well.
Mm-hmm.
They had a woman come out and talk about Game Pass fast start.
Yeah.
We saw a montage because they were trying to get to that 50 game limit. We saw Outer Wilds, that infinite loop banjo strumming robot one.
Infinite loop banjo.
We saw After Party, which is a game where you and your friend die and you go to hell and you have to outdrink the devil.
Yeah.
There was a 2019 golf game because I got to bring up that sweet golf tray. Vermintide 2 for all you great Warhammer fans out there. Vermintide 2 is supposed to be really good. Don't sleep on Vermintide 2, I've been told. I'm sleeping on it.
What's Vermintide like?
I do not know. I was told not to sleep on it, though. I'll probably end up sleeping on it, Trey.
What if you sleep with it?
Also a possibility. Below, Waking, Meat Boy revealed himself at the Microsoft press conference, Trey. Just so you know.
Meat Boy?
Meat Boy Forever, currently a part of Game Pass.
Nice.
I don't know nothing about no.
Forever.
Meat Boy Forever.
Forever! Also Ashen. That was the end of the little ID, the indie montage they gave us. We saw some Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I want to say this is the beginning of me turning the corner on being reeled down to play Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Cartier, but it wasn't. The Microsoft one did not make me feel different. But the extended gameplay in Square Enix did. I just want to throw that out there because I don't really care about Lara Croft. I just don't. Lara. The Tomb Raider. I don't care about becoming the Tomb Raider. I don't care about the fact that they've already said we were supposed to have become the Tomb Raider. I don't even care if there's double pistols in that. But when I watched it, I was intrigued in a very odd way, Cartier. The Square Enix one, at least. It got a lot of time. Shadow of the Tomb Raider got a lot of time. Crystal Dynamics. We didn't see any of the Crystal Dynamics Avengers. Not a lick of it. But we did see so much Tomb Raider. Maybe they're just focusing on Tomb Raider. Looks good. And then Twitch freaked the fuck out because they heard some vulgarity, they heard some funky white boy rapping, and they saw a skateboard. And you know what they thought, Kyle?
Yeah.
I wish I had an exact readout of the Twitch chat because it's like Skate 4, Skate 4, Skate 4. Probably that like 30 more times. Like, oh my god, Skate 4. Like, no, it's not Skate 4. Like, or is it?
Skate 4 Battle Royale.
Skate 4, Skate 4, Skate 4, Skate 4. Like, oh my god, I can't believe it's happening, Skate 4. And then, if that trailer is a minute long, Kyle, I could tell you that 45 minutes into the trailer, one motherfucker in the know is like, get all caps, guys, this is session, not Skate 4.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So it's Project Session.
That was the developer.
Sure, yeah, right. Shortened out a session. It still is a skateboarding game that was featured in an E3 press conference by Microsoft that is coming.
We'll take it until we get to play it, and there's a bunch of fucking hate on how stupid it is.
Probably exclusively. It looks like it's going to be hard. It looks like it's going to be up your alley, Kyle.
I think it's a spin-off game.
It is an Xbox exclusive.
Well, I know it was kickstarted in 2016. Were you telling me it was some of the people on the dev team for Skate?
I think so, yeah.
Just interesting, because I know they don't work for EA, so that's a possibility for sure. But they wouldn't have any of those assets, and they would be starting from the ground up. So that's interesting. The physics don't look like Skate. I'll say that, Kyle. They look good though. They look difficult.
Yeah,
I was watching some Dev Diary stuff.
Kind of worried it's not gonna be cool.
We saw Black Desert, which was this crazy story RPG for like an MMO I'll never care about. But Black Desert, I feel like MMOs look into that because it looked interesting. And then Dan wrote in all caps again on the paper. That's because Devil May Cry 5. Hideaki Itsuno is like, I'm back, baby. And he's like, he was back. Trey, he was back.
Guess who's back again.
Devil May Cry 5 trailer. It looked good. It looked like I'm probably playing Devil May Cry 5, which is weird because I'm not a Devil May Cry guy, you know what I mean? But it definitely got me. It looks like you're playing as Nero. We saw Dante teased at the very end. I've seen posters where it looks like there's 3 playable characters. So maybe Nero, Dante, something else. Nero's his arm has been ripped off. He too has a trick hand. So he can kick some demon ass, is what they said in the trailer. I can only assume that's true. It's so he can kick some demon ass. DMC is back. That's pretty much the moral story.
Yes, he's back.
It looked like it was.
back.
Itsuno's just happy to be back on stage talking about the game. And he did say he thinks this is the best game he's ever made because he's making it for the fans. That's what he said. One jolly thing into another, we got more Cuphead.
What?
A most exciting addendum. We got some new characters, new bosses, new weapons. Mrs. Chalice. We got the Chef Salt Shaker. A brand new aisle. New Cuphead. Came out fast too, Cartier, with how long it took for Cuphead to come out. Like years.
Yeah.
That's like the DLC in a year. And it looks like it's a whole new island. That means a whole new set of levels. It says new bosses. I think there's a lot more of this game coming. So it should be interesting. And we got Zelda. But when I say Zelda,
You mean Zelda.
I don't mean Zelda.
It means Final Fantasy.
You mean Zelda.
I mean a really
skateboard.
a really cute indie game from Halifax, Nova Scotia called Tunic, where it's a young boy in a green tunic swinging his magical sword around that he found in a cave, holding that button and spinning 360, finding the jewels in the leaves. Sounds like Zelda. However, this time you're a fox. It is called Tunic. It's a cute little indie game. It looks like
Zelda.
It looks like Zelda, but perspective of Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker, that kind of thing. Like it's not top down, but it's definitely like 3/4. I don't even know how to describe that angle, but with the rotation
2.5D.
with the rotation of the small sandbox world. You know what I mean? So, Tunic looks interesting. Looks like something Trey would play. Hey.
What a wonderful kind of day.
Hey, it was aesthetically pleasing. And then we saw that sweet J-Stars. No, then we saw Jump Force, Cartier. We saw Frieza. We saw Goku. We saw Naruto. And we saw Luffy, I think. I watched One Piece. Luffy, right? Cartier, I thought would be hyped for this. He is underwhelmed.
Yeah, it's like the other Jump game that came out in like 2013 that did all right.
Mm-hmm. That was less brutal than how you said it to me 4 days ago.
Well,
I won't bring it up.
No, I know.
It was brutal.
It's Benny was talking with me about it. He's like, this looks great, and I'm like, this game already came out.
Right.
And he's like, well, this is a newer version. I'm like, I mean, it's gonna be the same fucking game, newer characters.
Cartier, I will say I was most hyped for the Death Note reveal at the end. Once they showed me Death Note, I was interested, especially in a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ryuk? Is that who's gonna fight? Are you gonna just write people's names?
Yeah, write down Frieza. You don't spell it right because you're using the American dub, and then he just kills you.
Yeah. But yeah, Shonen Jump game coming out called Jump Force. Bandai Namco. I mean, listen, they did a good job with fighters. Cartier, they did a good job with fighters.
Yeah, no, this game's gonna be all right.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be just fine. This looks better than the last one, though, right? If that trailer was what gameplay looks like, I should say.
I mean, it does look nice. That's about it.
Yeah. Looks nice. Did you play the first Dying Light, Kyle?
Nope.
Dying Light 2. They said there would be some fluid parkour. And right about that moment, I looked at the gun, and I probably stood up because I had to pee. Dying Light 2. Looks exciting.
I've been actually trying to look for a place around here that specializes in parkour. Michigan's #1 parkour agency.
The #1 parkour spot.
Infected nighttime zombies. Nighttime zombies are everywhere. And then, god damn it, Trey, Battletoads is coming back. Unexpected. Battletoads coming in 2019. To say it was expected is wrong, Trey. It was unexpected.
Unexpected.
Battletoads coming back. 3-player couch co-op, 2.5D, which is interesting.
How high do you think the AC is up in his house for him to be wearing a leather jacket?
Look at that fucking ragdoll when he hit the...
Yeah, the ragdoll in this game is...
Right now, Kyle watching a little bit of Sessions play.
He's
But,
having a session with some Sessions play.
but no one else can see it, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Skate session.
Just Cause 4. Shown after Battletoads. Battletoads set for 2019. More on that when we play it. We're gonna play Battletoads. Just Cause 4. The Apex engine. Unrivaled draw distances. That's what Avalanche is saying. Avalanche with 2 big games this year. Rage 2 and Just Cause 4. Which is interesting, not necessarily always how Avalanche does things, but it looks like they're kind of on a roll as well. The Apex engine is being heralded as, I think, best in show engine, something like that. Some ridiculous, like, it's being talked up real hard. Not just by Avalanche, but by, like, Digital Foundry and shit. Apex engine looks strong. But they do a lot of weird things with the physics, so there's going to have to be a strong thing. Looks like there's going to be crazy weather in this. There's going to be, like, a tornado. I know the meme. People want a snow tornado or something. I don't know. People want Cartier. And then we got the trifecta of Gears games. We got the Funko Pop Gears Pop, which will be on mobile. Trey, calm down. It'll be on mobile. I know you're excited for that Gears on mobile Funko Pop game.
Shoot dangity.
And then we saw...
That's weird.
And then we saw what the Gears of War guy referred to as a classic take on the RTS genre in Gears Tactics, and I will call a blatant ripoff of XCOM in Gears Tactics. I do love games tactics at the end of it, and I do like XCOM. Final Fantasy Tactics is great, but no.
Do not like XCOM.
Well, then you won't like Gears Tactics, because it's blatantly XCOM. Which is fine, it's just a classic take on the RTS genre. And then they said, that's not all. We have the most ambitious project in our history to tell you about. Gears 5. Because they don't like of war anymore. Everything is just Gears.
Yeah.
Gears 5. We were doing it already. They might as well just accept it. And unexpectedly, Kyle, they came with a drama-heavy story cutscene.
Yeah.
I don't know if
That's how Gears is.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like a drama.
Oh,
There's an
with
emotional
trailers, though?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm just surprised that it was, like, no real gameplay. Yeah, it was just pure story. It was interesting.
Because like half the stuff for like Gears is like the story. It's like how like a Metal Gear game, they're gonna like show you like different clips of like how the story is gonna be, and not like this is the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
It's very story driven game.
Gears, but I expected them to even, I don't know, talk about anything. You know what I mean? I didn't expect them to have a battle royale, but I think that Gears Battle Royale is interesting, and I also think that, like, as the people that created like the last thing that Battle Royale, like they created like the Horde mode that was blatantly ripped. You know what I mean? I'm surprised that they didn't have any modes to talk about or anything really.
Yeah.
But no, it looked intense. I mean, Gears not my game, but it looked interesting.
I'm excited for it. I like the Gears of War series a lot.
Oh yeah. Gears. And then
If Nick gets an Xbox, we'll probably play that one together.
Phil Spencer came back out and he's like, "I thank y'all for coming out tonight." It's like, "Y'all have a good night." And it's like, and then do you know what happened?
No.
Willie Nelson came on stage.
Cyberpunk. Have you seen the
yeah, that's right.
Cyberpunk?
I've seen it.
That's how the Microsoft one ended. With Cyberpunk hacking in. They're saying it is not a shooter with RPG mechanics. It is an RPG with shooter mechanics. It looks like some people have called it futuristic GTA or cyberpunk GTA. But then I think about like, you want to fight a Witcher. I think about how
So is
in
it
depth The
like,
Witcher was, and I am fucking so excited for Cyberpunk. Jesus Christ. It's not what I thought it would look like, though, but it looks beautiful. I thought it would be a little darker.
Is it gonna be like Deus Ex?
Yeah, I think it will be comparable
I would
to Deus Ex.
definitely call that, an RPG with shooter mechanics.
Is that CD Projekt Red too?
I don't know.
Deus Ex? Fuck, I don't know. It might be. I don't know which it would be. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's
Square Enix. I don't know.
It's looking interesting.
What else?
For sure. Well, CD Projekt Red for sure. It might be Square Enix. I don't know.
No,
But-
I'm saying
What Square Enix?
for Deus Ex.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But no, man. I gotta think that Cyberpunk is gonna do well. I gotta think that Cyberpunk has gotta come out on the PS4 and the
I think
Xbox.
it's gonna be cool.
This is one of those things where I'm surprised Xbox, showed this premiere. And you could make the debate that why does it even matter? If it's, they did in the order they bragged about in this order how many games they were showing, how many were exclusives, and then thirdly how many world premieres. It's not like they were like, but they did throw world premiere up on the screen fucking 15 times. And I hear the argument like why? Why does it fucking matter? You're the first one to show us this footage, like. Why does that fucking matter to you?
The same.
But it's still exciting.
It's the same damn reason.
It's a good show.
Same damn reason you type in first when you're on YouTube. In the comments, you gotta let people know.
Microsoft just wants to be first.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk looks nothing but strong. I'm excited to talk about it in the months to come.
I just hope it comes out in the next decade.
I'm afraid it's PS5. I have a fear that it's Starfield. And that's pretty much the whole Microsoft press conference. We are running just about where I thought we would be on time. So, I think it's time to find out who is the winner of the 2018 Lit Mitten E3 betting special.
Wait, Dan, I have a question before we go to this.
Yes, sir.
So you watched all the conferences, right?
Yes.
I have a question. Did you see Jeff Goldblum at all?
Oh, yeah,
On
let's
stage?
get to this. Yeah. I didn't rewatch, but I will trust that you listened to how I worded it, and he had to be on stage. Yes. I made a bet with Cartier that Jeff Goldblum would be there. His voice was there. I have heard stories that he was even in the audience, maybe in a camera pan. I didn't check that. But he was definitely not on stage. I am going to have to tweet The Rock. And when I tweet Dwayne The Rock Johnson, is there anything you want me to say in particular?
Apologize for not tweeting him before.
I'll apologize because it's been so long, for sure.
It's almost been a lot. Tell him that. You've just been really, really busy. Really busy.
Also, I lost a bet that I was like, the words Final Fantasy VII wouldn't be at E3 at all. That was before there was going to be a Square Enix press conference. And I beat the odds. They didn't mention Final Fantasy VII Remake at all until Super Smash Bros. Had to have everyone in the fucking fight, and they had to tell you that Cloud's outfit was either the Final Fantasy VII outfit or the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children outfit. Also, did you notice copyright, Square Enix copyright Final Fantasy VII? So I lost that. Anyways, just a couple bets, guys. Just a couple quick bets. So the winner of this betting special, besides being the E3 betting champion, which is not a title you're going to lose until next year, we have a gauntlet coming up in 3 weeks. And in that gauntlet, if you win this, I don't know if you guys remember this, but if you win this betting special, you will get the sweet ability to go last in the gauntlet. You will be the final game, no matter what. Guaranteed to not go first is nice, but being the last game has its advantages. So, let's get some bullshit out of the way real quick. These were Roger submitted questions, except for a sweet listener named Roger Riet submitted questions, except for 3 that I added. And I wanted to do this, but let's get two things of bullshit out of the way real quick. First off, let's go over our biggest announcements, our dreams, which none of them came true. These were 5 points. No one got this right. For biggest announcement, it had to be something that has not been spoken about at all yet. Trey said a remake of any Zelda game, which did not happen. Cartier said N64 Classic, pre-orders open now, which did not happen. I said a new Donkey Kong game from Retro, which did not happen. And Kyle said Skate 4, which even though Twitch thought it happened for a second, did not happen. That's the first thing of bullshit. I'm just letting you know. That pretty much question doesn't exist. And then the other one, and this might be controversial, Cartier, but I'm open to discuss it right now. But I know that you were worried about this in the beginning, Trey. I think I have to scrap the question, what is the best conference? I think that it's debatable, and while I am open to debate this, I do feel weird that what I think was the best conference is also what would end up getting me points. Like, I think it was Microsoft. And I would debate that. I also think that Nintendo is worth mentioning. I think that Sony and Bethesda and EA all had good conferences. I don't think any of those people had bad conferences. I could see someone being like, well, Sony's better than everything.
No.
It's so, I rewatched Sony, dude. No one gave you gameplay. That Naughty Dog Last of Us, the actual gameplay, those kills, that was some of the best gameplay of all of it, and they gave you a lot of it, and they dug deep into all of those. But besides that, there was a lack of numbers. Yes, and Spider-Man, man.
Spider-Man's gameplay was fucking lit.
And they had already shown us a bunch of Spider-Man 2, and it still came off so well. Like,
yeah.
Oh, man. So, with that being said, I don't know if you guys want to talk me out of it, but I think we gotta scrap best conference, because it's just,
He just doesn't want Bethesda to win.
And no one even has Bethesda. Yep. But talking to Cartier earlier this week, I'm like, I don't think we're gonna come to a consensus. I think that it's just too
opinion.
Yeah,
based.
preference, and saying best conference. So we're gonna scrap that. But for the record, Trey said Sony, Kyle said Square Enix, Nick said Nintendo, and I said Microsoft. But no one will get points there.
Nope.
Let's begin the betting special results show. How many new racing games will be announced at press conferences? For 2 points. Trey said 4. Kyle said 2. Dan said 3. And Nick said 3. It was 1. It was Forza Horizon 4. That is Kyle being the closest. That is 2 points for Kyle.
Oh, I thought we were going to have to be exact.
No, it's closest. Yeah. This will be another controversial one. Cartier, I know that you told me something, and I tried to double check it. And I came to my own conclusions. If you would like to bring up video evidence, I'll accept it. How many times would the crowd boo presenters? I rewatched Command & Conquer, the beginning, the end, the whole sequence of it. And there was something else I rewatched looking for boos. I think there were 0 boos, Cartier. I think it ended with 0 boos. Kyle said 1, Nick said 2, Trey said 1, Dan said 0. Yeah, it benefits me that there were no boos, Kyle. That's why I said there was no boos.
Fuck you.
No, it's just, honestly. That's plus 2 points for Dan. Will there be a Skate 4? Nicholas Cartier is a fucking kind soul. It's only for 1 point. Nick said yes, because he had faith for you. I said no. Trey said hard. Trey said hard nah. Kyle said no. And that is a point for me, Trey, and Kyle. These ones were interesting, and I'll never accept this. I'll never accept these kind of questions again. The how many times thing, because it is a bitch to fucking. For 2 points. And it was worded like this. I had to go back. How many times was experience used in the Microsoft press conference? It was only used by the Forza guy, and he used it twice. I said 11. Trey said 8. Nick said 7. No, he said 17. Doesn't matter. Kyle said 4. I think he said 17, looks like. I thought it was going to be a lot, too. That is 2 points for Kyle.
Yeah.
How many times will innovated be said at Sony? Trey said 14. He said 5, and then turned to 14. Kyle said 2. Nick said 0. I said 9. It was 0. Sony didn't say innovate once. They didn't talk a lot. Like, they were too busy going to church. Yeah. Plus 2 points for Nicholas Cartier there. Will EA have more than one pro athlete speak on stage? Kyle said no. Nick said yes. Dan said no. Trey said yes. The answer was no. They had exactly one pro athlete on there who talked, and it was Juju Smith. Is a name. It was a good name, though. He was there. The funny thing is, I had to look at the question. It was more than one pro athlete, right? And there was the Madden esports champion next to him. But I came to the consensus that
Esports isn't a real sport. Then are you trying to?
that doesn't make you an athlete, and there are ways I could have.
But the Olympics, the next Olympics, esports are going to be in the Olympics. Wouldn't that make them?
Right. I guess the Olympics. Well, no.
I know you're just trying to get yourself some points. But
The Olympics. Does that affect it like that?
I don't know.
What question are we on?
No. How many athletes?
If we had said players, sports stars, if the Olympics calls them athletes, Cartier, I will go back and I will buy you one juice box.
Are you telling me
single juice box?
Are you telling me Nick at Night isn't a professional gaming athlete?
Oh my God, he was a mobile esports star. That was a Command and Conquer guy.
What's that word after E?
Sports, right? Would you call esports athletes? We'll take the vote right now.
What would you call chess a sport?
Would I call chess a sport? I wouldn't call chess players athletes no matter what. I would call them players.
All right, I would agree with that.
Yeah. But
Players.
like, I'm not saying esports aren't a sport. I'm saying that the people playing those games are not doing anything athletic.
They're players.
Well,
they're playing.
So,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah,
golf.
hit me with
Golf
it.
is a skill sport.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider them athletes?
Or players. I mean, technically, every athlete is a player.
The thing is, I think I would. It's like you're not doing much with your controller. You're not doing much in golf either. But for some reason, I'm like, yeah, golfers are athletes in my head. To just give you a blatant answer, when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, golfers are athletes. But when you're sitting down playing
the
chess,
less physical activity makes you.
Do you have to be standing to be an athlete, Dan? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean.
No, are race car drivers athletes? We're off the fucking rails. Do you want me to cut this question?
Race car drivers are athletes.
We can cut the question.
It actually takes a lot of physical endurance. It really does, dude. Those NASCAR drivers they gotta work out in insane shape, dude.
We're cutting the question.
If you think about it, there's a lot of G-force and shit.
It doesn't affect the winner, luckily.
All right.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, bitch?
Because it's funny. It's funny that this is such a
It's a big thing, yeah.
thing.
Will anyone flip the bird at a
you'll
press
probably-
conference?
Did anyone?
The most likelihood was Rage. Like, Andrew WK was there.
Wait, there's a fucking character on Rage that like flips the bird.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And guess what? Not at Rage 2, not at Cyberpunk. I didn't see a single bird flipped. If you have footage from E3 of the bird being flipped, feel free to send it into limitmedia@gmail.com.
it's on the fucking cover, but it's not an E3. That sucks.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah. Flip the bird. No, that's 2 points for Dan, Trey, and Kyle. Will someone say poop? I said yes. Nick said yes. Trey said no. Kyle said no. No one said poop, and a lot of people said shit, Cartier.
Mm-hmm.
The most notable shit was Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who said, yeah, go do that shit. And I was like, yeah, go do that shit. 2 points for Kyle. 2 points for Trey. Will Hideo Kojima be on stage? Trey said yes. Kyle said yes. Cartier said no. Dan said no. That's 3 points. All these are worth 3 now, by the way. 3 points for Cartier, 3 points for Dan. It was no. Kojima was not on stage. We did see a lot of gameplay from Death Stranding. We saw Norman Reedus carrying a lot of luggage. For 3 points, will we see Master Chief's helmet? Kyle said yes, but then he tried to say no. Nick said yes. Dan said no. Trey said no. It was yes. 3 points for Kyle, 3 points for Cartier.
Was it confirmed Master Chief's helmet and not just a Spartan helmet?
Yes, Cortana in the back. The Cortana
okay.
chip in the back apparently confirmed it. I don't know. But also, or at least where Cortana used to be, I don't really know. Will we see Snorlax ridden or following someone at E3? Cartier said no. I said yes. Trey said no. Kyle said yes. It was no. Cartier knew. It's 3 points for Nick and 3 points for Trey. And when you tally all those points up, you get Dan with 8, Trey with 8, Nicholas Cartier with 11 points, And Kyle, who was at 14 points, with 12 points, making by 1 point over the first winner of the gauntlet, the winner of the 2018 Lit Mitten E3 betting special. Kyle.
He didn't even watch him.
Melville.
Yeah, I did.
Kyle. Melville. Your winner, Kyle Melville. Kyle, this means that just like in the last gauntlet, no, you went first last time.
Yes.
Kyle, your game gets to go last in the next gauntlet. That also means that you get to close out this podcast in whatever we're cooking way you would like to. There's a breeze right now, and I'm going to pause.
That was me.
If you enjoyed that pregnant pause or anything pregnant, happy Father's Day. I would like to invite you to go to litmitmedia.fireside.fm, where you can find the entire archives of the Great Lakes Gaming Podcast. We have a second podcast up now. The pilot went up during the E3 pilot season, but now the Dragon Ball Super Showcast with myself and hosted by Nicholas Cartier, which involves the two of us going through each episode of Dragon Ball Super, doing, I don't know, casual man's breakdown. We're doing a breakdown, a diagnosis. We're just talking about it casually.
Of the English version and the Japanese version.
We're listening to both versions. We're watching both versions. Also, you can now find us on twitch.com, twitch.tv/litmitmedia. I don't know how to plug it yet. We have a gauntlet coming up in 3 weeks. If you have never heard any of the gauntlets, I suggest you go back and listen to the previous 2 gauntlets. But each of the 4 men in this room, including myself, will write a game. A lot like how we normally have games, not the last few weeks. I've been slacking. Each of us will write a game, 20 points each. I hear there's going to be a new sportsmanship mechanic I'm excited to hear about from corporate. But we're going to go in a circle and play one game at a time.
Sportsmanship like athletes?
No, like sports. If you're in a sport, are you an athlete, Cartier? Is that what you're saying to me? Cartier is not necessarily trying to argue against me. He's just poking holes and then like backing away from the hole, being like seeing if air comes out of the balloon. And it is quickly coming out. Cartier tells me by the end of our lifetimes, maybe we'll have run out of helium. litmitmedia.fireside.fm. If you want to send in a game for the gauntlet, feel free to send it in to litmitmedia@gmail.com, where you can send any questions, comments, or fan art of Trey hugging a PS4 Pro.
Hey.
Until that fan art comes in and I plaster it all over my walls, your closer for this week, Kyle Melville.
Get your love, Kyle.
I think I might just buy another car.